Okay, want to make sure the stream's working first before I start this. Let's see. Let's wait until it's up before I do anything. Okay, yep, looks like it's up. Okay. So, hi guys in the stream, and hi YouTube in a bit. Okay, today I am actually going to go over some staples that you can use to make your deck better in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. It's something to help you out to so you can actually do better with like against people and make matches or player matches and stuff like that. Just so you know, some of these cards don't work in every deck, but these cards work in a lot of decks, almost all of them, just because how well they're utility wise. You can work them like at many different decks like that. So let me start going over that. First, I'm going to start with some of the monsters that I have. Oh yeah, that's a small note too. This is not all the cards that are stable wise nowadays. These are all the cards that I know off the top of my head that you can use to actually be better. There's some other cards that obviously are better. I can probably talk about them right there, but it won't be shown in here because I either just thought about them or I don't have them in here. So like let's get on started right here. Okay, the first card I have in here is Neo Grand Space Mole. Basically, he's limited to 1. He is a rock type monster with the effect at the start of the damage step. If this card battles with opponent's monster, you can return this card and the opponent's card back to the hand. This is a very good card effect. That's because this card allows you to bounce monsters that you can't normally attack over right there, and also this does not target, so you can get over a problem monster that you can't get rid of. Like if it has you can't be destroyed by card effects, by battle or something like that, this card can get rid of it. It's limited to 1 just because it can get rid of any problem monster that they can have, unless it's not affected by monsters with like lower level of effect to them. It's very good. You can fold this to any deck. Though there is a couple problems with the card. It uses up your normal summon, so you have to normal summon to actually do it right there. Or like that's the easiest way to actually get it out. It does have a special summon effect right there. But you know, there's other cards effects that allows you to special summon it. But most of the time you just normal summon it to get over it. It doesn't have a good attack right there. It doesn't have good defense, and it's also a level 3 monster. But it makes up for it just for that effect alone, because of that. So your opponent has to either get rid of it right there, or they're gonna like lose that monster and try to bring it back out. A lot of decks can use this properly. Not every single deck. Like certain arch type decks that are you only can use one certain monster. Like this card won't help them out. But a lot of decks right there, this is a very good anti-meta type card deck that you can use to stop monsters and everything. Okay, next card, Tour Guide from the Underworld. It's a level 3 monster. It's also a fiend. It has a 10,000, it has a 1,000 attack, 800, and 600 defense. Basically, when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 3 beacon type monster from your deck, hand, or deck, but its effects negated, and also cannot be used synchro summon material. This card is a very good card. That's because, oh hey Clan XD, Solemn Warning, I got from I believe bombing from a Duelist battle thing. I found it from one of those battles. And Book of Moon, I believe you get from the last pack, I believe, or I found it from that. So basically from the Pendulum pack, Book of Moon, or you can farm it. And then Solemn Warning, I believe I found it from Grandpa Moto, I believe. Okay. Okay. Other things. Tour Guide for another one, it has a very good effect. That's because it gives you a free SYZ summon, and the main thing that you actually use the 2 guy for is to supposed to summon Dante the Bending Abyss. This card is basically like a very good card. This card loves that name. That's because it allows you to bring over down this card. But I will get to that card later. That's because it allows you to. It basically gives you like a free special summon. That's mainly it. The only thing bad about it is that it only works when you normal summon it. And it's still very good. It has a decent amount of attack right there, everything like that, but its main use is just that fact. Now, and like the current ban that's right there, this card is limited to 1, but in this game it's not banned, it's not limited at all. You can use 3 of them. So right now this card is very good card at a Burning Abyss deck. Okay, next, Dekoseka. Dekoseka cannot be special summoned. While you control no set spells or trap cards, neither player can set spell or trap cards or activate set spell or trap cards. This is a Benny's Epiness. I think you found out from a certain duelist. I do not know. Oh hey look, Goofy Hat Matt's there. Hey Goofy Hat Matt. Goofy Hat Matt's a friend of mine. Like, he also knows Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Yeah, let me help you guys out. Let me this link right there I use a lot to help find out what cards are in where and stuff like that. So yeah, not much. Okay, this link right here, that right there is just a Google spreadsheet document right there. At some people made it right there, so you can actually help find the cards easier. So I have that right there if I need to find what cards where they are at. So use that up, and you just have to it might take a bit to actually look up certain cards, but that has a lot, every single card listed right there, unless it's not in the game yet. But definitely use that more. Okay, let me get back at this. Dekoseka can be special summon while you control no spells or traps. Neither player can set or activate set ones. This is a very good card because this allows you to basically say fuck Mirror Force, everything like that. It allows you to attack without fear of getting hit by traps. I think it is in the game, Goofy Hat Man. I think I have it. Let me look it up real quick. I think I have it. Yeah, see, look, I have it. I do not know where it is. I don't know where it is exactly. I can probably look it up shortly what it is. Okay, okay, but first let me go on this while that page loads. Okay, Goofy Hat Matt. What the frick? I want that. Oh frick! I clicked off it by accident. Okay, okay, let me go back at it real quick. Oh, I changed the cards around. I don't want that. Okay, there. Okay, okay, Dekoseka. This allows you to summon this thing and have no fear of background at all if you have no set spell trap cards. This is a very good card. That's because it makes it so you have no fear of getting Mirror Force down, getting Compulsor layer on, unless they used it on him. So yeah, it's a very good card to actually use. But the only bad thing about it is that you can't spell summon it. It has a decent attack right there, okay defense, it's level 4, so you can actually use it to sync SYZ summon, so that's another good thing. So it allows you to get into full rank for 2 boss and everything. So yeah, next card. I keep hitting that by accident. Okay, Honest. Basically, during your main phase, you can return this card face up on the field to your hand. During either player's damage step, when a light monster you control battles, you can send this card when your hand to the graveyard. That monster gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster that's battling until the end of the turn. basically you can use this card. Basically, this is a staple card in any deck that uses a lot of light monsters. Because it allows you to easily attack over things that you couldn't before. Because of it, and this thing can steal games away. That's how good it is. Like basically, it's first the fact that it doesn't really matter with that at all. It allows you to basically, if you like special summon him like to the field again, you can then just take him back right there, so your opponent has to not attack your monsters, but give them another way before they actually can attack. Very good thing. This game, this one is limited to 2 right now because it's still a very good hand trap. Hand traps are basically cards that you can discard during your turn or your opponent's turn to activate effects. Like this one is one of the most well-known ones that is right there. That's a very good effect. There's other ones that I know of too. Like there's one called Max C, where during your opponent's turn you can discard this card. Anytime your opponent special summons a monster, you draw 1 card. It's a very good thing because that either will limit your opponents from like doing their things, because if they summon a lot right there, they give you free advantage to days, and then that's super bad, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! Hand advantage right there is so powerful and everyone knows about it. I don't have Max C in this thing. That's because I haven't really grind for it, because the decks I have don't really use Max C that much. But there's like other decks that I know Max C would be very good. Max C is definitely one of the like staple cards that a lot of decks can use properly. That's like basically it right there. You discard it right there, and your opponent, and you draw each time your opponent's like. But that's, you know, it can backfire on you. Like if they have a way to summon so many special summon monsters a turn, you can deck out. Or you can make it so that you like they do it on you right there, and then you just basically consume over. But you have to be very careful when you use it right there. But most of the time right there, a lot of people won't have to worry about that. Okay, next, these 2 cards right here, Manju and Tenju. These cards are ritual monster cards that help you search out either ritual monster or spell with Manju, or a ritual monster with Senju. This allows you to speed up things right now. These cards are very good just because one of the top decks in the game right now is Necros. And Necros are a very powerful ritual deck that basically can make the hand in any way they possible, because they can like discard cards to search the cards that they actually need, so they can actually make the hand what they want to be during their turn. Yes, like Goofy Hat knows about Necros. Necros are like so fucking good, and in this game they had the Djinn Lock still. The Djinn Lock basically makes you cannot special summon any monster while there's certain monsters on the field, and they have card effects that allow them to either negate a battle right there, or make him so he can't be destroyed by a battle or like by effects that turn. It's very hard to get out of it. But like these things are super freaking good. That's because they have a lot of good things about them. But they're like super fucking good. But they only work if you have ritual monsters in your deck. Basically, if you put them in any deck right there, they will be dead weight. But in ritual monster decks, they're like staples all day long. Okay, next, Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, basically it's a level 4 spellcaster monster with 800 attack and 1600 defense. The fact is, when this card is faced by the field, you cannot be tributed. If this card is nobles or split summon, change this card to defense position. Once per turn, you can discard a spell, special summon 1 level 4 monster in your deck, but that monster can attack this turn. Basically, this is actually a very staple type of card, because it gives you rank 4 plays, meaning like it allows you to XYZ summon into a level 4 rank 4 monster. it's very good just because like that second card that your monster can attack like that, but no one cares because they could be instantly that. It has a decent amount of defense right there and everything like that. But the main reason to use this card is to get because it lets you do free SYZ summoning. That's the main point of the card. The only thing that might be bad about it is that you have to discard a spell to actually use this effect, but that makes it more balanced to actually do it right there. If you can discard any card to special summon another monster, this thing will probably be limited to 1, no matter what, or maybe even banned. That's because it allows you to like, this card would be a staple in any deck if it allows you to discard any card. So that's why it has to be only for spells. So yeah, very good. Okay, 2 other cards right there. These are hand trap cards. Gorge, the Adversary of Darkness, right there. He's 2700. Oh, there. Good job. You got Shockmaster. Okay, Gorge, the Adversary of Darkness. It had 2700 attack, 2500 defense. When you take damage from a card effect in your opponent's possession, you can special summon this card from your hand. You must control no cards to activate this card and resolve its effects. If summoned this way, you can activate one of these effects based on the type of damage. Battle damage, special summon 1 Adversary of Darkness token. Its attack and defense equal to the amount of damage you took, or effect damage, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of damage you took. Basically, this allows you to, if your opponent has a high attack monster and he attacks you right there, you can summon this and a token that can suicide to get rid of that monster. This is a very good hand trap type of card. Or you can use it right there and inflict the same amount of damage you took on him. The second effect is you don't really use that much at all. This is mainly for the first effect that you get for it. By the battle damage. That's because it allows you to gives you a token to actually attack over a monster or suicide with it. It's still a good card. The only thing that it's has somewhat problems with it is you have to take battle damage to actually trigger its effects, and you have to have no cards on your field to activate the effects. So you have to make it so that if you have this card in your deck right there, if you have it in your hand, you have to make sure that if you want to use this effect, you have to have almost no back row right there, or back row you can easily activate, and monsters that you don't care to get destroyed. But it's still a good card. That's because it allows you to, it's because of the hand trap ability, since you can use it in your opponent's turn. Okay, next, Shigolia. Okay, this is a rank 10 monster with question amount of attack and question amount of defense. When you take battle damage, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card gains 600 attack and defense for each card in your hand. Once per turn, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard to target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls with the same level as the sent monster. Take control of that monster. Once per turn, you can target 1 card in your favorite graveyard. This card becomes that same level as the target at the end of the turn. This has a couple of very interesting effects right there. This card right there allows you to easily summon this guy by taking any battle damage. If you took 1 battle damage, you can freaking summon this card. That's how it is. It's attack defense right there. It's also a effect because most of the time you only will have a couple cards in your hand. You won't have more than freaking 5 or 6 cards in your hand unless something happens. So at maximum right there, this card will have about 3600 or 3000 attack most of the time. But most of the time you might have only 600 or 1200 attack. But it basically allows you to protect yourself for a turn. And 2, the other effects are pretty decent for it too. If your opponent has level 4 monsters right there, you can discard one right there and just take control of it. So it's actually very easy to actually do it right there. And that monster you control indefinitely until that monster gets destroyed. And it's very good. And also the other thing is that once per turn you can target one monster in your graveyard. This card summon becomes the same as the targets to the end phase. So basically this allows you to set up either single plays or SYZ plays with this card too. So it allows you to get a free SYZ summon while protecting yourself later on. It has a bunch of utility on it, but you have to know when to properly use it. You can't use it on the very first attack right there, or this card's gonna die. You have to know when to use it. Yeah, so that's basically it for monsters at the moment that I know of right now. Next, let's go with spells. Spells. Book of Moon. Target one face-up monster in the field and change that to face-down defense position. This is a very good card. That's because it allows you to stop your opponent's momentum for a turn. Because it makes it so that you basically stop a troublesome monster's effect right there, to make it so you can protect yourself, or you can actually save your monster from like a mirror force or something. It's a very good type of card. That's because it has a bunch of utility for it. That's because it stops your opponent's monster right there. You can reactivate a flip effect monster you have it right there, save a monster, or make it so your opponent can't synchro or like a synchro summon or like a SYZ summon with it. This is a very good thing, and also it's a quick play spell, so you can actually use it during your opponent's turn. So it helps out so much, like just because it has a bunch of utility on it. It's limited to 1. That's because it's so very good utility wise. I don't think that if this thing was unlimited, not every single deck would run 3 of them right there. I will probably see some decks probably might run 2 of them, but I definitely don't see every deck running 3 of these. Oh, that's because it's just a utility that's to protect your monsters. But if it's on a flip, if it's a flipper deck, if it's a flip thing deck, like that deck will use fucking 3Ds all day. So I definitely see why they probably had it limited, just because they don't want that stuff to happen. Okay, next, Duelist Burial. Duelist Burial basically send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. But back in the day, this card was a bad card. That's because the game was slow, and they didn't have cards that activated in the graveyard to actually trigger the effects. Basically, this card was like useless right there. Basically, the only thing it did with there was make you go minus back in the day, because there's nothing that you would do with it except for like setting a monster that you don't want to draw in it. But nowadays, this card is a very good card because of the graveyard being a huge part of the game now. Because there's so many things that activate in the graveyard now that this card is limited to 1. That's because it can allow you to set up plays very easily just by setting 1 card. Like there's like spinning a best right there has to be this card, send a card, and then you can like start your crap going right there. Or there's cards that you send a card to the graveyard, and then you can special summon that monster back, or like something that you can do it. It has way too much utility now. How you guys do this, because there's so much stuff you can set out and actually do. Like nowadays, this card is limited to 1. And now there's also a card that is better nowadays called Laval Chain. I'm probably messing that card's name up, but I know it. That basically you can send any card from your deck to the graveyard. And that card recently got banned because of it basically starts so much more stuff than Duelist Burial can do. And then you can also it's also a freaking rank 4 SIG monster, so you can easily get it out. So but this card you have to wait till you actually draw it. The other card you just have to have at least 2 monsters, and then you can start the crap. So that shows how good the graveyard now is nowadays, that this card is limited to 1, and a card that you can send any card to the graveyard is not banned. But yeah, so basically the only thing this card will not help in is cards that basically don't utilize graveyard at all. That's really it. But I learned about a lot of decks nowadays. They utilize the graveyard a lot. Okay, next one. These are staples: Forbidden Land Chalice, Forbidden Dress. Well, Forbidden Dress is not the best one, and Forbidden Lance. Okay, Forbidden Chalice. Basically, target one card up on the field right there, one face-up monster on the field. To the end of turn, that target gains one attack, but its effect is negated. Forbidden Dress, target one face-up monster on the field until the end of turn that causes 2/4/6 attack, but cannot be targeted, destroyed by other card effects. And Forbidden Lance, target one face-up monster in the field until the end of turn that target loses 8 attack, but is unaffected by the effects of other spells and trap cards. Basically, these cards allow you to protect your monsters, or you can actually get over your opponent's monsters by lowering the attack right there, or increasing your attack to your monsters. This card allows you to stop a troublesome monster's effect right there that could screw you over and negate it. Yes, it might give them more attack right there, but that effect most of the time will screw you over more often than giving your opponent's monster 400 more attack. It's so freaking important to get rid of it. Like, it's a lot of negation right there in this game, because if you don't negate stuff right there, you will get screwed so horribly badly. Same thing. Let's go over to Forbidden Lance. This is the same thing. Forbidden Lance right there, this is actually more of a staple card than the other two. This is actually probably one of the best ones. That's because it makes your monster unaffected by spells or trap cards by losing the attack. Basically, you do this right there. Like, let's say you summon a monster right there, the bottom is trap hole hit. You activate this card, bam, your monster's safe right there, and they wasted their trap card from you. It's a very good card just because your opponent can't, you basically will either make it so your opponent can't activate like a trap card to affect your monster right there, or you can save your monster from a bad effect, or you can just make it so you can attack over a monster easily. That's basically a very good trap card that you can, a quick rage spell that you actually can use. The next one is Forbidden Dress. Forbidden Dress, you target one face-up monster in the field to the end of the turn that loses 6 or 10, but cannot be targeted or inspired by other card effects. This is actually a pretty decent card still, just because it can't be targeted by other card effects and everything, but there's also a bad thing about him. But because it doesn't negate effects that always target it right there, you have to use it preemptively right there, or basically the card is like doesn't really help out. It's a bad card just because of that thing, but it still helps you out because you can still protects you from certain things if you preemptively activated. But it's just very careful how you have to use it right there. You just have to be very careful of when to use it. Okay, next, let's go Space Typhoon. Target one spell trap on the field, destroy that target. This is a staple at 3 in almost every single deck. That's because it allows you to get rid of a troublesome face-up spell trap card, or get rid of a card that might screw you over that's face down. It's a very useful type of cards. Any of these cards will work. Well, this card will almost have every single deck out besides like cards that cannot use spell cards in your thing at all. This thing allows you just to get rid of anything that might like pose a threat to you, or is a problem to you just because of it. It's a staple no matter what. And with all the other major trap card and destroying cards effect like Harpy's Feather Duster, Giant Trunade, Cold Wave, and Heavy Storm being banned, this card is like a staple just because of that. That's because it allows you to get rid of at least one. It's a free 1-for-1. Like so basically you use a card right there and your opponent loses a card. That's how good it is. Okay, next, 1 day apiece. Each player draws a card, and neither player takes battle damage until the end of the opponent's next turn. This card is one of the best stall cards in the game. Basically, basically this is like a godlike top deck. That's because, oh, let's say your opponent has like freaking like a full field set up with monsters right there. You're top decking right there. You draw this card. Bam, frick, you save yourself for one more turn. There's nothing your opponent can do about it. And look, you drew Regeki right there. You wait a turn. Oh look, you activate the Regeki. You got Bubble Man. Freaking like special summon him right there. Draw 2 more cards. Freaking you, and then you like come back. This card is such a very good stall card just because of that effect. And this card was recently not recently, but like a while ago, it was unlimited. And this card like basically gave you 3 turns of protection no matter what. It's still a very good card, but not all decks can use it because they need the push to actually get the kill. That's like cards that do very fast 1-turn wins. This card like doesn't help them at all. That's because you use it right there, then you can't do the 1-turn win that turn. It's basically like not every deck can use this card, but a lot of decks can. That's because it allows you to stall for 1 turn completely, and your opponent can do anything about it. Okay, unless they negate it before the effect is over. If they do, then that's the only way they actually stop the card. But still, it's an amazing card, everything like that. Okay, next, Regeki. Regeki, destroy your opponent's monsters. It's basically, this card was banned for the longest of time until recently it came off the list because people presume that since nowadays right there, destruction defense is all over the place for monsters. This card can come back without fear because there's so many cards that destroys it right there, and also there's cards that basically have destruction negating effects. That this card like it's fine coming back like that, but it's also still a super fucking good card. That's because it allows you to clear off your opponent's field easily, so you can help push for game. That's basically the main reason for it right there. It's still a very good card. Allows you to get rid of all troublesome monsters on your opponent's field at one spell swoop. You always definitely want this card in your deck. Shared Ride. After this call results, each time your opponent adds a card from the deck to hand to a card from the deck or give it to the hand, except by drawing them, you immediately draw a card. You can only activate 1 Shared Ride per turn. This card is a very good side deck type of card because it allows you to stop cards that basically allow you to allow your opponents to search. Because every time they search the card right there, you basically get a card right back. This is like Max C, how the card is. Because if your opponent keeps on pushing right there, they give you so much card advantage, and card advantage in Yu-Gi-Oh is so very tightly thing that either opponent will have to risk it right there, trying to finish the combo and try to kill you up for 1 turn, or basically he has to like end his play earlier so he doesn't give you too many cards. This is such a very good card just because of that. Okay, next deal. That's so you know, right now this card is banned again. This card was only playable in one format, one banlist format, and this is the format that's actually unbanned. It's basically equip to our opponent's monster, take control of the monster to during each opponent's standby phases, they gain 1,000 life points. This thing steals so many fucking games. And that's not a pun to the thing, because it's basically one of the top 3 card stealing monster stealing cards in the game. Top one is like Change the Heart. Then the next one be like tied with this and Brain Control. It's super fucking good. That's because of that. It's like just an amazing card. It's like takes a problem monster from your opponent's side of the field to your thing, and you can do whatever you want to him. You can shoot at him right there. You can attack for him with freely. You can like SYZ summon, single summon, or just freaking have a very powerful beat stick on your field until you want to get rid of it. Such a very good card nowadays to actually help you out your opponent. There's a lot of things you can do with it. This card is so freaking good. They immediately abandoned that format. So that's how good it is. Okay, next. Soul Shards. Target any number of monsters you give it, special summon them, and if you do, you lose 1,000 life points for each monster special summoned by this effect. You can connect your battle phase to activate this card. You only can activate 1 Soul Shards per turn. Basically, this is a more balanced type of Monster Reborn, but it has a better effect somewhat, just because it allows you to special summon more than one monster. This is a very good thing because it allows you to get multiple monsters back at once, but you have to pay 1,000 life points to each thing, and then you can't attack this turn. It's a very good thing because this allows you to get back, set up a very good power play that you once had, or you can like just have a field presence back again. It's such a good thing just because it allows you to bring your set thing, or you can just use it as a Monster Reborn and just have a one big amount more one boss to back to help protect you for a turn. It's such a good thing just because of it. But there is downsides with it, with the life points, and then you can't attack, because this thing means you can't push for win during the turn that you use it right there. This is basically more of a resource card that you can get back to help you out. But still, this is a staple in a lot of decks just because of that. But there's some decks that don't use this card because of they want to push for it right there, or they can't, or they have cards that you can't special summon. But this card is still a very good card just because how it is. Okay, next, Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin, you draw 1 card, your opponent gains 1,000 life points. This card is a staple at 3 no matter what. But there's another thing where you do not want to have this card at 1 because it's useless. This card's at 3 just because you basically make your deck, instead of a 40 card deck, into a 37 card deck. The 1,000 life points right there doesn't really matter as much nowadays. That's because how fast you can lose the duel, how fast it is. Back in the day, this card was not a good card because how slow the game was, and giving your opponent 1,000 extra life points means that's 1,000 extra life point damage you have to do when there was almost no special summoning right there. You only can summon a monster per turn and stuff like that. But nowadays, right there, how fast the game is right there, you can freaking, there's so many 1-turn wins type of things with this deck. And this thing helps you out so much there, you can start your game way faster. And basically, it helps you speed out your deck. That's the main thing that people use this card for. Speed out, speed your deck up so you can get your combo out faster. Okay, next, trap cards. Then I'm gonna try to hurry up now because I don't want to make this video super duper long. Next, Bottomless Trap Hole. When this opponent summons a monster with 1,500 more attack, destroy that monsters with 1,500 more attack and you do banish them. Basically, this is a very good staple trap card. That's because it prevents any type of summon on them. Like it prevents a visual summon, it prevents a special summon, it prevents a normal summon, or something like that. And basically, instead of an unlike normal trap hole, sorry about me messing up. It affects more than one monster. That means it can get rid of you up to 5 monsters at once. Your opponent summons 5 monsters at once. That's how good this card is, and that's how scary you have to be against it. This card is one of the staple traps in this game just because it basically prevents your opponent from like getting like special summoning a bunch of monsters at once. You always want to use this card in a deck. Next, breakthrough skill. Target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls, negates its effect of that opponent's effect monster to the end of turn. During your turn, except the turn this card was sent to your graveyard, you can manage this card from your graveyard and target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls, negate that target's effect to the end of the turn. Basically, this card, like Preventive Challenge right there, is a very good card because it prevents you from getting fucked over from your opponent's card effects. Like so many games lost because of opponent's card effects. This is such a very good card because without negation effects right there, this game would be a totally different type of game. Just because instead of whoever has the momentum right there wins. This thing allows you it has two good effects. It's a trap card right there that negates the opponent's effect during his turn, or you can during the end. Actually, it's not his turn. It's both of your turns. Like that. Okay, there. And then there's another effect where during your turn you can rebanish this card from your graveyard and then add that card back to, and then target a card your opponent controls and negate that monster card's effects to the end of this turn. So if this card gets destroyed without being used, you can still use this effect like during your turn. So it's actually still basically this thing it's not a dead card right there if it gets destroyed. That's how this card is. So it has another chance. So no matter what, you can actually still use this card no matter what. That's because of those two effects. Next, compulsory evacuation device. Target one monster in the field. Return that targeted hand. This card is a very good staple just because it sends the card back to the hand. It makes it so that it's very hard to actually get back out because your opponent can summon this right there. Your opponent now basically let's say he summons a blue-eyed white dragon right there. He has to be this card, boom, goes right by his hand right there. Now he has to tribute two monsters to actually get this back out again. So you make him waste some of his resources already, and now he has to waste more to get that card back out. Or this card will protect your monster by, like, mirror force and everything like that, or it allows you to send a monster back to your hand so you can reuse his effect again. It has multiple different things you can actually use with this card to actually make it so they actually. So this card has a lot of utility for it, and because it disrupts your opponent's plays right there and also helps you out to protect your monster right there, or like allows you to reuse effects. It's just a very good card. Okay, next, mistake. Neither player can add cards to the deck to the hand except by drawing them. Basically, this card is a very good anti-search type of card. This thing destroys Necros because no matter what, most of the card effects you cannot search them out. That means they have to say play with the hand that they get, and no matter what, and you can chain that to like a bunch of things. You can do the reinforcements of army right there, tuning, anything that allows you to search through your deck and add to the hand. That's how good this card is. That's because it's a anti-floodgate card. An anti-floodgate card is a card that no, sorry, not anti-floodgate. It's just a floodgate card. It's a card that prevents your opponent from doing things that you don't like from starting things. So basically, it prevents a bunch of monsters coming out, a bunch of like very bad magic or spell cards that screw you over or something like that. That's how the card is. Next, skill drain. After paying 1,000 life points, you affect all face-up monsters in the field are negated while those monsters are fixed from the field, but the effects can still be activated. Basically, this card's effect right there is a very good card just because negates every single card effect on the field, and it's such a good thing. Now that's because you were not using this right there, and your opponent just stuck with basically normal monsters until they get rid of this card. Such a very good card just because of that. It's like it has a lot of utility too. There's also like cards that like like have bad effects right there, but negating the effect will have like a major card event. It's like there's a thing where you can summon this card right there to make it have 0 attack right there, and you can use this thing right there, negate it right there, and boom, that monster has 3,000 attack. So like such a very good card to actually do it there. And also if events this is another floodgate card that prevents your opponent from like doing stuff that you do not like. Next, Solemn Warning. This is another staple card. When a monster will be summoned, or a spell card track about a monster that activated that goes as a special summon on a monster, you can pay 2,000 life points and they get to summon or activate it, and you do destroy that card. Basically, this is another floodgate card that basically prevents a troublesome monster from wrecking your day out. This is a very good card, like beginning the game type, because you've used it right there and you prevent your opponent from getting out a precious card in the combo right there, or getting out their boss monster. Such a good card to actually use because of that thing. It basically it's a big it's like one of the biggest floodgate cards that you actually can use, but it only works once, so you have to know when to use it right there. But just because it gets rid of one fourth of your life points, so you have to make sure you know when to actually properly use it. Okay, next, Soul Drain. Activate by paying 1,000 life points. Monster that banished, as well monsters in your graveyard cannot activate the effects that start a chain. Basically, this I told you about. Basically, I told you about card effects about this right here. This thing right there basically stops any card from triggering the graveyard. This thing is such a very good card to stop stuff that triggers in your graveyard. Sorry, my voice is getting thirsty. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Sorry, guys. This is taking a little longer than I expected it to. 1 second. Better. Basically, this card prevents any monster card effect or spell trap card effects that targets stuff in the graveyard or does stuff to the graveyard and negates it. So basically, this locks the graveyard from triggering card effects. It's such a good, and this card is a big thing for against Bending Abyss, just because it prevents those cards from activating. Basically, this is like one of the biggest anti-Bending Abyss cards out there. That's because of that. Okay, next, Shorter Tribute. When a monster is summoned, destroy all monsters in the field. This is a very good trap card. That's because it wipes the field clean of monsters. Not all cards use this card right there, but it's such a very good card nowadays because of it. Because it allows you to, like, if your opponent special summons like 5 monsters at once, you said boom, wipe them all out, and your opponent just lost 5 monsters. It's still a good card, or you can just use it, or you can use it on like your own monsters to start to trigger the effects, everything to actually do stuff. Still a very good card to actually do it, and it's basically like a somewhat of a another anti-floodgate card. That's because of it basically wipes the field clean of monsters. And everything like it's still very good and everything like that. And it says this is like a one that it's very close to being a staple. Like from the other track cards. Actually, I think this might be a staple. I'm not sure exactly. It's that basically Torture Tribute, Solemn Warning, Compulsory, and Bottomless. Those are like the 4 staple traps. So it actually is a staple that any deck can use it, but however we get better. Okay, the final trap that I have now is Vanity's Emptiness. Neither player can special summon monsters. If a card is sent from the deck or the field to your graveyard, destroy this card. Basically, this is like one of the biggest floodgate cards out there. Because nowadays, Vanity's Emptiness, nowadays special summoning is like how you actually can like start stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can special summon so many monsters per turn nowadays. I think you can freaking special summon your whole fire field, clear it off, special summon it again, clear it off again, and you can still special summon more monsters. That's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be if you get the correct hand, and that still happens. This card prevents that because you basically make lock it for until a card on your field or from your deck gets sent to your graveyard. Your opponent can't, no player can summon, and it's like one of the very good like floodgate cards out there that no matter what, this deck could actually help out. And this card and this thing is not limited at all, so it's unlimited, so you can put 3 in your deck if you want. But there are some downsides to it, that if you activate it right there, your opponent doesn't even need to destroy this card right there. They can destroy another face down card, or like a destroy a monster right there, and basically you go -2 off that. That's because how this card is. But it's still a good thing because if your opponent does destroy right there, you can then activate like basically like a Upstart Goblin right there. Boom, that monster's thing, and then you can special summon right again next turn. That's how how good that card is. And this thing is a huge fucking deal. So this again, it's such a very huge deal to actually do it. It's definitely very good. Like a lot of these cards can actually help out a ton of decks. Like a lot of these spells right there, you can put in any deck right there, and it will make the deck so much better. And same thing with these spells or trap cards, with the trap cards too. You can put them in any deck to make better. The monsters, certain decks like can't use these cards, while our decks love these cards. Like Honest and Dekoseka work very well together. Like Gristle monsters work very well together, and other things work in other decks. But it's so freaking good just because of how these cards can help out a deck so much like that. Okay, that's probably all the monsters. All the spells and trap cards right now. I am gonna go over. I'm gonna try to speed through the SYZ monsters real quick. Try to actually do it because I've been talking for a while. I don't want this video to be super freaking long, but let's go at it. First one, TG Hyper Librarian. It's a synchro monster with 2400 attack, level 5. If the monster is synchro summoned, draw a card. This card must be face up on the field that activates the card's effect. Basically, this card is this is like a staple card in synchro monster decks. Basically, if this card is up on here, you basically draw a card each time you summon one, and it's very good because it allows you to actually do your things that you need to. But it's such a very good card in this thing, and this is a main staple piece in the summoning Quasar, shooting Quasar Dragon. That's how good it is. That's because it allows you to draw more cards. I don't want to go over it because it's better just to see it in action, which you can just check out my synchro decks and everything like that to show how the deck can be. Next, I'm gonna go over some level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, and then some of the rank 4s. I mean like rank 1s, rank 2s, 3s, 4s, and so on. Okay, next, Ghost Trick Duran. Basically, his first effect is a very good thing. Once per turn, during your play turn, you can detach a material from this card, target one face-up monster on the field, half its attack to end the turn. This allows you to get rid of a common monster by attacking over that you couldn't do. It's definitely a very good thing, and it's very good thing. And also, this is a generic rank 1, so that means a lot of decks can actually make it besides Ghost Tricks. And it's such a good card just because of it. Okay, next, number 54, Lionheart. The 3 level 1 monsters. This face-up monster cannot be destroyed by battle. When you take battle damage from this card's battles from covering this card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of damage you took. If this card battles your opponent's monster during damage calculations, you can detach one material from this card. Your opponent takes any battle damage you were taken from that battle. This is such a good card because this makes it so that they cannot attack this card at all. Unless it gets trained into defense. And this thing allows you to just attack it right there, and your opponent basically loses like a lot of freaking so much damage with that. It basically prevents your monster. Basically, it prevents your monsters from attacking. And there's like certain decks that makes it so that you basically like lose unless you can get rid of this card. Such a very good card. That's because of that. It basically you can do so much damage with this card just because of that card's effect. Okay, next, Second Musician. During once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by a battle. During either player's turn, when a card effect is activated to target this face-up card, you can detach one material from this card and negate the activation to destroy it. Basically, this thing is a star card. It allows you to protect yourself right there, so you won't die as fast per turn, and allows you to make it so you at least have some field presence so you don't lose your thing. This card works very well in Azonia and also level 1 decks. Okay, next, Gatsu. I definitely messed it up. This card is face up to be destroyed. Detach one SRZ material from this card said. Face up monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense for each SRZ attached to this card. This thing allows you to have a. This thing is such a very good card for rank 2 things because it gives them an attack boost to 400 damage points in total, or in the Jambas, since their card allows you to switch the attack to defense, your opponent basically he turns in a very good beater and everything. Such a very good card, like because of it, but it only works in like certain decks. But okay, in those certain decks, I would love it. Dante, Shower the Betting Abyss. This is a generic level 3 monster. It has a couple good card effects. One is very good in its own deck type, but I'm not going to really talk about that. The other one is, let me talk about it. You can detach one turn. This card gains an attack for each card sent together this way. This card attacks is changed to the possessed position at the end of battle phase. And this card sent to the graveyard, you can target one Betting Abyss card in the graveyard and accept this card add to your hand. This has a couple good effects. That's because you can. The first effect allows you to mill your deck a bit, so you can actually sorting your cards out, so you can actually get like better draws and everything. 2, it gains 1500 attack if you discard at least 3 of them, so it turns to a 2500 attack beater. And 3, it goes in defense mode, so your opponent cannot easily attack over it and actually destroy it. It's such a very good card effect. That's because of that. It does 3 very good things. Mills your deck, makes it becomes a beater, and then has it protect itself. Very good card. Okay, next, Ghost Trick a la card. Basically, I'm gonna just talk about it as a main effect. Material. This card, the target one. Show this card, and then you can only activate this effect once per turn. This allows you doing. It's definitely a very good card. That's because of that, because it allows you to protect yourself and also so you can basically either force them to activate something or get rid of a problem that might shoot you later. definitely a good, very good card, and a lot of decks that have level 3 monsters use this card, and it's definitely a very used card in this deck. And next, Devour the Sea Dragon. Once per turn, you can detach one SRZ material from this card, target one banished level 4 roll monster, special summon that card on your side of the field. This thing allows you to extend combos and everything by summoning a level 4, banished monster from your thing. I use this card a lot in my Medoce deck because it allows me to like bring out my boss monster, and this thing works in a lot of different decks that have level 4s and level 3 monsters that do it. So this thing works a lot if you have both of those things in your deck. And it basically allows you to break supposed to summon more monsters. Everything. That's the main use of this card. Next, the number is gain final life points. This card cannot be targeted by card effects. When this first card will be destroyed, you can detach one material from this card instead. When this card is sent from the field of your graveyard, target 2 level 3 or lower monsters in your graveyard, summon them both in your deck, and if you do, return this card to your extra deck. You can use this effect at number 49, forcing 2 once per turn. Basically, its effect basically has 3 different things. It's a very good stall card. 2, it allows you to gain life points back. 3, it basically allows you to get cards from your graveyard back in your deck. And also 2, it will never get it never will it will always be in your extra deck unless it gets moved from play. It's such a very good card, and also is a very good stall card in the game like that. It's basically is a very good stall card, and a lot of level 3 rank 3 decks that they use this card. One out Germanis. This card will be on the this face-up card will be destroyed. You can detach the material from this card instead. Once returned during the end phase, if this card was used, if this effect was used, you can target a card in the field, destroy it. Basically, another very good anti. This is another good stall card right there that also has a very good effect that actually makes it so that the opponent can't destroy it because of that card effect. Because if he tries to destroy it right there, he will go minus on it. So it's a very good another stall card that's a lot of like level 3 decks can use properly, and so on and so forth. Next, rank 4s. Kessel, the Skybuster Musketeer. 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach one SRZ material from this card. Target one face-up monster in the field. Use that face-up defense position. Then you can detach 2 materials from this card. Target one other face-up card in the field. Summon it to the deck. You can only use one Castle the Skybuster Musketeer effect per turn, and only that turn. Oh, only once a turn. Basically, this is one of the best SRZ like rank 4s out there. That's because it has the second effect is really good because it sends a face-up card back to the deck, and back to the deck has a very harder time to actually come back than putting in the graveyard, putting it back in the hand. It basically is a very good card to actually get rid of a problem card in the field. It's such a very good card. It's actually one of the best freaking like generic rank 4 monsters ever in this thing. Next, Digester Emerald. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, then activate one of the effects. Target 3 cards in your graveyard, 3 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle those 3 in the deck, and then draw a card. Or target 1 non-effect monster in your graveyard and summon that target. There are 2 very good effects that you can use. Like there's one that you can bring 3 monsters back in your graveyard and do that with it, so you can actually have more monsters that you need later on. Or you can summon a non-effect monster in your field right there and special summon it. Both of those cards are very good just because those card effects can either help out both of those card effects can help out one in their attack with the other one, and then the other factor there, you don't have to worry about it because you'll only be using the other effects. So that's a very good card just because you basically, the first effect, if you have three monsters that came from your extra deck, you can basically send those cards right back to your extra deck, and then draw a card without adding anything in your deck, and that's a very good card effect. And then the other thing is that if you run a normal monster deck, using this right there, you can special summon any non-effect monster from your deck and summon it. That's such a good effect too for that. Okay, next. Actually, I don't know why I have that in there. I was just gonna put that back right there. Oh, I sorted those by accident. 1 second, I'm trying to fix this. Okay, next is Gaga Cowboy. Basically, his effect is if this card is in attack position right there, you can against a frozen attack, and also if the card attacks opponent's monster against a frozen attack, and your opponent's monster loses frozen attack, doing the damage to only. Basically, it allows you to attack over a monster that might be troublesome. But the second effect is a lot better. When this card is in defense position, you inflict 800 damage to your opponent. This card is a very good thing because most of the time, like a lot of different duels, you need that last bit of damage to actually basically be able to get that win. And this card allows you to do that easily. But it's have special summoning, SYZ summoning it. Such a good card for like that thing. The first card effect is still a good card effect to allow you to attack over a monster. The second one is mainly used for the second effect, just because that last bit of burn damage. Okay, next. Number 101, Side Honor Arc. You can detach 2 materials from this card to target one special summon monster your opponent controls and face up attack position. Attach this card attach that card to this card as face up SYZ material. You only use this card effect number 101 Silent Honor once per turn. And this card will be this face up card will be destroyed. You can detach 1 SYZ material instead. This is a very good card just because it has 2 things. It allows you to get rid of a problem monster, and 2, it protects itself. Both of those effects are still very good. That's because you can get rid of a problem monster right there, and also you will have a decent monster to protect yourself, and now you can do damage. Always a good card that has to do it. Well, another one to stable SYZ monsters. Okay, final card for now, and I will name off 1 more card. Is number 103, rank 0. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach the SYZ material from this card that target one face-up monster on your opponent controls that has a different attack than what its normal attack is. It's short if you do your card. Yeah, any card. Basically, this card is a very good card to prevent if you any equipped cards right there that changes the attack right there. It's so good right there, and also gives you a plus off it. It's a very good card effect just because of it. It allows you to it's a very good card just because it has utility bursts to actually get rid of a problem monster just because the opponent uses a card effect that uses an attack right there or something similar to that. Okay, final card I'm going to talk about, which I don't have yet because it's locked under DLC, is okay, the final card I'm going to talk about is Sights Evil Swarm Exciting on Night. It's a level 4 monster. I believe it's an insect. It has 900 attack and has this effect. Once per turn, during your turn or your opponent's battle phase, you can detach 1 card from this card. Destroy all cards up on the field besides this card. And if you do, your opponent takes no more damage for the rest of the turn. Basically, it allows you to clear the field easily with a wipe right there, and basically will have a monster to protect yourself. And you can use it on your opponent's turn too, so it's such a very good thing to actually prevent, to actually do more stuff with it. it's one of the cards that I don't have unlocked because it's locked on a GSC, but it's such a very good simple monster that I might buy it just because it's such a very good card to actually use in this deck. Okay, I think that's it for now. I can't remember any other card right now that actually might help us out. I mean, help that I remember that actually it's a staple card that actually help you guys out. But I will probably make any videos right there, another video maybe on it right there, explaining more staple cards, or if you want to like talk about it right there, just name something in the description of the video or something like that, since this thing is going to be uploaded to YouTube probably after I get done with this video. It's still a good thing to actually use, but I know I definitely miss cards and everything like that, but so on and so forth. It's still very good to actually talk about it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day. And if you want to like check out more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, follow me on Twitch. I'm probably going to try to be streaming more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff there, and I'm probably going to be also be uploading more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff too. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.